buy and build. Yeah, since I started talking about the true history, I had a nice welcome talk, you know what I mean, about the true history. And then guess what? I popped up on some stuff on YouTube from Thomas Sowell, you know what I mean, Sowell, about the true history of slavery and why they're not teaching us this shit. And he didn't say why, but I came to the conclusion why nobody want to teach the true history. Because like the chessboard, there's black pieces and white pieces. There's black and white playing the game. And I say that because the objective is to be ultimate control and running shit. And controlling over all, right? And it has to be both black and white playing the game, because if those kings and those nation runners in Africa are selling the people as slaves to colonizers, right? They both got to be back, because they're both the person that's losers or the slave, the capture. You know what I'm saying? They're the one that lost everything. So just preen all this shit and thinking about it, that's why it is what it is, because it's both playing the game. It's both dealing with their people the same way. That's why black on black crime, and that's a white people crime, because guess what? It's set like that. For the people that's in control needs this thing to happen to be in control. Even one of my talks, I even said it years ago. I used to work for this company, and when I did some research, the company always had these meetings where dignitaries, people from all walks of life, come together and plan out the next 50 years in America and how they're planning this shit. This is government stuff. And they came to the conclusion that this place cannot survive without war and dysfunction and all over and stuff always going on. That's some wild shit, ain't it? Yo, so this buy and build, I call it, they both playing it. You know what I mean? They're both in it. To stay in control and stay running. Because the kings who sold the slaves made money. The colonizers who bought the slaves made money because they used the slaves and made money from the slaves. And the slaves are the only one that didn't get anything from it. But how are they compared? And that's some real shit, people. And that's some real shit. And that's how come I figure black people would never be, because we don't know this part of history. Maybe ever know it. And we're so far here now, in the future we can do it. But if nobody knows the truth, how the fuck can you get things better? And it's blatantly coming up. Now, who knows this type of history? Please, drop a comment. Because if you follow the last two videos I posted, the walk and talk, let me know what you think, man. Because I was just holding a vibe. And I always thought that the phone listened to you, and the vibe I was on, I got some information on YouTube. And Thomas saw an old video about the history of slavery. I was like, wow. So ain't no colonizers come to the west coast of Africa kidnapping people, and whole generations after a couple hundred years of that. You know what I mean? It's over it. After a couple hundred years of that, they kind of felt bad, like, oh man, it is kind of inhumane. But they already on top of the mountain, they're living so good. After a couple hundred years, we start living good, and the mental change because you're eating different. Right? You are what you eat, and if you're eating bad, you're going to think bad. So now you're eating different, they're eating good, and their thoughts change, like, oh, let's abolish this. Even though there wasn't resistance. Civil war. Abe was, I don't know. Because I just roll vibes out here. But Abe's the one that freed the slaves, right? The Republican. But yet, we're supposed to not like Republicans. I'm a black man, obviously. We're supposed to not like Republicans, but they're the one that freed the slaves. But yet, we gotta vote the Democrats because what? They're there for us, but they didn't first do is fight in Civil War, nigga. Because we don't know history, and because the school's beating a different pattern, and they overlook the important matters of the shit. Because I went to all my schooling here. I'm born in Jamaica, went to my little school there. They came in here and ran middle school on. You know, went through high school, went to the point, and then I was out. That's another bill. That's another bill. But through all of those years, they ain't taught the real history. So what's the fucking point of that school? What is that? Wonderland shit? And that's what that school is? And you supposed to be Alice? And if you look at my other riding bills, when I was asking the question, where's home? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. Each one teach one. I don't know. We learn something on these bills, though. And just an update of information I'm getting, because I swear, my phone's listening to me. Every time from in the past up to now. When I asked them to put something in the air, that's the information I'm going to join. It's a good thing, though, because I was always wondering. I was always wondering about the slavery history. How can there be slaves in the South and free people in the North? How can that be? In one nation, one accord, in one nation, you have free people and slave people. How? And that was okay. And that's allowed. And we don't talk about it, they don't teach about it, but yet they're talking about Harriet Tubman. So when Harriet Tubman went to the North, freed the slaves in the North and shit. That's talking about what? Philadelphia. I always heard the town Philly, and then Canada is the other place, right? She would go. And then with the car Harriet Tubman, it should have been fucked up. Do you tell me what kind of conundrum are we in, son? What the fuck is this shit? Why? The reason. And like I said earlier in the video, the reason so they can stay in power and hold their bread. Third dimensional shit. This shit right here. That's three-dimensional shit. You explain me. What's your role in this? What's your role in this if you know the true history? Because unless you know, you're right back home. Right here. As a baby, doing this shit again. So the next writing bill, though, talk a little bit on this one, but this we're talking, we're just building on some things, you know what I mean? Drop a comment, let me know what y'all think. Catch you today. Bye.